We'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. This is a very exciting time for us today. As we reported a couple of weeks ago, Joe Vallely left the city of Huntsville, and Joe's position was Director of Economic Development. And as we went through and looked at what Joe did, in the process of Joe leaving, we all sat down and we listed out the items of everything that he did, and I think there was something like 35 to 40 items of what he was doing. And he was doing, as you normally do in the city of Huntsville, you go a little bit beyond doing what your job description is and his other duties as assigned, and he was doing other duties as assigned. And he was really Director of Economic Development and Legislative Affairs. And it covered a lot of areas of his scope of work was very, very broad. And economic development is very, very important to us. We have many partners in economic development. Ethan here is one of our partners in economic development with the Madison County Chamber of Commerce. We have other partners with the Madison County Commission, with the Airport Authority, with NADA, North Alabama Industrial Development Association. And throughout the area, we have a number of areas that we work with different partners on economic development. And on a global view, what does economic development mean to us? We have several economic engines sitting right here in Huntsville, Alabama. One is Arsenal, Department of Defense, and we work on that on a daily basis. This past week, we had the Space and Missile Defense Conference in here, and we had over 300 exhibitors. We had over, how many people? 5,000 people attend, 5,000 plus people attending. And those are people who do business with the Space and Missile Defense Agency or with the Missile Defense Agency. Many of them live here, but then there are some who don't live here. And part of our economic development thrust is to try to get those people who live in other places to come and set up shop and to live here in Huntsville. And what does that mean to us? Each person that we can bring in that kind of economic development means $80,000 a year in spendable income. That $80,000 a year, when you look at the BRAC movement of 10,000 people, equivalates out to $800 million a year economic impact. And that's just not on Huntsville. That's on Huntsville. That's on Madison County. That's on the City of Madison. That's on the 13-county area that crosses all of North Alabama. So economic development is very, very important to us. And economic development even goes down to our existing businesses. How do we help our existing businesses expand? Some of the existing businesses that we've seen expand this year, we've had 159 ribbon cuttings. We saw one company, Mike Wick's company, iCube, expanded from 1 employee in 2007 to 250 employees in 2010. Big economic development, big economic hit for the city of Huntsville. Dianetics has a 256,000 square foot expansion going on right now. CSC had 136,000 square foot expansion. When you look at the local companies that expand, every expansion means more dollars to your local economy and means more dollars to your economic development. So the expansion of our existing base is very important. Expanding not only the companies that are here, but bringing other companies in. Over the past 3 years, we've been to events such as Quad A, which is the Army Aviation Association of America, which has a trade show just like SMDC had, and it'll have about 5,000 people at its trade shows. 50% of the people already have offices located here, but that other 50% is an industrial base that needs to also be approached about moving to the city of Huntsville. AUSA has a big convention trade show, and we'll find 40% of those people are already located in Huntsville. The other 60%, it's good fishing up in that area. Test Week, SMDC, all those events are ways that we go and do economic development and try to bring those companies to Huntsville, because if they have boots on the ground in Huntsville, Alabama, it means money in the pockets of our retailers, money in the pockets of our home builders. It provides jobs, and jobs is the key issue that we talk about. And when you can provide a job for somebody, it also provides for a tax base. So that's one of the reasons that economic development is so important to us. And it's important on a daily basis. Also, Economic development is important to us on the retail basis because the city of Huntsville, 53% of every dollar that we spend comes from the sales tax. So we have to have that retail base out there. And we want to announce today that we have selected Michelle Gilliam Jordan as our new Director of Economic Development / Legislative Affairs. And let me tell you why Michelle. And this is Michelle right here. If you had a question, which one was Michelle? This is Michelle. But let me tell you the reason why Michelle is so important to us. Michelle has a planning background. She has a master in planning from Alabama A&M. She was assistant planner in the City of Madison and then planner in the City of Decatur. That planning background is very important when you're talking to those retail customers. Our retail quarters are already set out according to our zoning and our planning. And those retail quarters are where we can have retail customers set up. And knowing how to work with setbacks, knowing how to work with building placement, knowing how to work with planning with those retailers is very important. And that's part of what Michelle will be doing as Director of Economic Development. It's also very important that we have somebody who knows business. And Michelle has handled the incubator space over in Decatur in the past. And in doing that, you learn how business works, and you learn about how you bring business to this area. Michelle brings all that expertise from the City of Decatur, from the City of Madison, to the City of Huntsville. In the past 2 years, she's been working in community development, where she's been running a $2 million a year plus organization, and she has done a wonderful job with that. When we started looking for a Director of Economic Development, Legislative Affairs, Michelle has been in Washington, has worked in Washington, and she knows both the national scene and the local scene and the state scene. I couldn't come up with anybody better, and I think she will be a wonderful Director of Economic Development for the City of Huntsville. So at this time, I would like to present to you Michelle Gilliam Jordan, who is our new economic developer for the City of Huntsville, and we'll be working in conjunction with all these fine people. Michelle.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, good morning. I'm so excited about this new opportunity. As the Mayor said, I have had an opportunity to work with economic development in the past, and just looking forward to continuing the work that my predecessor started, Joe Vallely, working with small business, big business, and making Huntsville healthy, because I do believe that having a strong economic base equals a healthy community. I'm looking forward to working with Mayor Battle and his administration. We want to get out and understand the needs of small business and prioritize how we can move forward. And so I'm so grateful for this opportunity and look forward to working with many of you in the room in the future. Mayor, thank you.
And Ethan, thank you for coming up and standing with us as part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.